started Fiverr 7 years ago this month, and there have been a lot of highs and quite a few lows. On a scale of 1 to 10, my overall experience with the platform would probably be a 7, and here's why. What is up, everybody? It's your girl Tyra, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am so glad to have you. Here on this channel, I create resources for Black creatives who want to escape fear and share their creativity with the world without compromising their faith in God, their integrity, their uniqueness, and without breaking the bank. And to address all of the comments I've been getting, no, you do not have to be Black to watch my channel. My mission is fueled by my experience as a Black woman and as a Black creator, but everyone is welcome here, so take what you need and leave the rest for somebody else. Now, today we are diving back into the world of Fiverr, and I'm going to tell you about my experience in the last 7 years with the platform. For those of you who are new here, I am a full-time freelancer, actress, and digital content creator, and from time to time, I share my experiences of being a Fiverr seller. To date, I have made over $70,000 on the platform, and I finally decided to start taking it seriously back in 2020 because of the pandemic. So why did I join? Let's bring it back to 2015. I was still in college and I had just decided that I was going to graduate early and move back to New Jersey. I had did the National Student Exchange Program, and let's just say that I wanted to get back to New Jersey as quickly as possible for a boy. Anyway, I needed money to do so, and money I did not have. So I began researching ways to make money while I was still in college, and I came across the Fiverr platform, which at the time was notorious for the $5 gig. Let me set the scene for y'all. I was going to college in Louisiana, and the cost of living in Louisiana was not that high in 2015, so $5 for a gig sounded like a good honest wage to me, okay? So I signed up for Fiverr with the quickness, and I created my first gig. So no, my first gig is no longer on my Fiverr page, and it did not do that well. And as I think about it, I'm like, Tyra, what the freak were you doing? Y'all, my first gig was printing out flyers and posting them around my college campus, and I made a grand total of $20 with this gig. And I really didn't see the purpose of a platform like Fiverr because of that gig, so I just kind of moved on away from it, and from time to time I would get a gig here and there. But it wasn't until I moved back to New Jersey in 2016 that I began to see the potential of earning on Fiverr. In 2016, I was doing a Fiverr gig, and at this time, my main gig was graphic design, creating flyers for your business, and I don't have that gig anymore either. But a friend saw me doing one of my gigs, and he was intrigued because he had never heard of the Fiverr platform. Then he asked me why I didn't use my college degree to make more money on the Fiverr platform. And when he said that, something in my mind clicked, and I did a little bit of research, and I saw that there were a lot of sellers offering testimonials and spokesperson videos, and then my first spokesperson gig was born. Now, it did take a while for it to take off, but I did start getting orders and finally saw the value in the Fiverr platform. So meanwhile, y'all, I found one of my very first spokesperson gigs, which, spoiler alert, is not that great, but I want y'all to take a look at it. Hi, my name is Donna. I needed help getting my credit back on track and clean up my credit report. Whoa. I contacted inquirybusters.com. They looked over my credit history and all of my reports and went straight to work. Then they showed me how I could get my credit score up quickly so I could reapply for credit cards. Hi, I'm Donna. Y'all, horrible. Now, I'm showing you this because my videos now are so much better, but I started with the skill set and the equipment I had, which at the time was a college degree in theater, hot off the press, and an iPhone 4S, okay? So when did Fiverr take off for me? My Fiverr career didn't really take off for real until 2020. But during 2016 to 2020, I tried out a lot of different gigs, y'all. I did product photography, food photography, video editing, YouTube consultations, voice-over work, podcast listening and feedback, and I also did those weird hold your sign gigs where you hold someone's random sign and you take a picture, and I even tried out audio transcription. That didn't work. I ain't getting out one gig on that. But a lot of these gigs didn't work out for me in a sense of they were not worth the struggle and the time and effort, so I deleted them. Let's start with the lows first so we can end on a high note. There have been times where I have been discriminated against, and at one point I wanted to give up on Fiverr because it stressed me out so much, y'all. Overall, Fiverr is still a pretty new company, and they're not even an American company, which I didn't realize when I joined the platform, which gave me a lot of, once I figured that out, it gave me a lot of perspective over why things are done differently than I would expect them to be. But they are making strides to have a better overall seller experience. But it used to be really ghetto out here for sellers, and I shared my experiences with discrimination in a previous video I did called Fiverr versus Upwork. So if you have not checked out that video, definitely go take a look. I go super in depth about the pros and cons of working with both of these freelancing sites. So I went through a period of time where I had constant canceled orders, horrible customers, and made little to no money. And this made me put Fiverr on hold in 2018 when I moved out to Los Angeles. I said, okay, I'm moving to a new city, and that was enough stress. So I was like, nah, I'm not about to add insult to injury with Fiverr because it was just too much. And my anxiety was high because on Fiverr, it's all about your seller stats. You always have to be available to respond to messages. Your orders are on a timer, and canceled orders are also not great for your account. This was all very stressful for me because I was getting orders, but it was inconsistent, which led me to getting into a groove, then going a month or two without getting an order. So it was very energetically draining, and I wasn't really seeing a return on my investment. But it wasn't until mid 2019 that I started getting orders again. And I think the biggest thing about that was that I had a mindset shift. I said, Tyra, you are offering a service and you have to make it worth your while. So I went and revised all of my gigs, and I updated my photos, my videos, my prices, my descriptions, and my requirements tab. Now that I knew what I like to offer and what I wasn't willing to give to clients, then the orders slowly started coming in again. And at the end of 2019, I ended up making $1,275.20, which is not a lot, but I did finally realize that I could make some good money if I leaned in all the way. So in 2020, I ended up making a little over $4,000 on Fiverr and made way more money on Upwork and on my YouTube channel. Now, I know you're probably wondering, yes, I do have plans to dive into my Fiverr earnings and show you guys exactly how much each of my gigs I have brings in and what my average order price is. If you would like to see a video about that, please comment down below, show me the receipts. Now, let's talk a little bit about my experience as a top seller. Y'all, on June 16th, 2022, I received an email that I had been promoted to a top seller after being on the platform for 7 years and being a level 2 seller for I don't even know how long. A long time. So this was honestly a breath of fresh air. Here's the thing about being promoted as a top seller on Fiverr. It isn't just automatic like the other levels. Apparently you have to be handpicked, and this is why it took me so long. I was super stressed out because I was like, oh my God, like I've been doing great for years. Like what is going on? What is going on? So I finally got a seller success manager, and I was just talking to her and asking her and stuff. And she was telling me everything that I needed to fix before they would promote me to a top seller. But I took care of all of that, and there are a couple of things that happened to me once I actually achieved top seller status. Number one, I started receiving a lot of small job requests. And I think this happened because as a top seller, your profile gets pushed out more because you are hand vetted. You are the cream of the crop. So I began getting a lot of weird requests of things that I don't offer, which made me a little bit nervous because I had to respond to all of those messages and make sure my ratings did not drop, because I would have dropped all the way back down to level 2 and have to go back through that entire process of becoming a top seller again if I met the expectation in the future. And I also started receiving messages at all hours of the night. And Fiverr is really good about not dropping your stats unless it's a 24-hour or more period before you respond to the initial message or the first message. But sometimes I did overlook them or I didn't see them. So it's been a huge learning curve for me to learn to communicate with all of these new potential clients. And the second thing was that I started receiving more requests to do projects because I'm Black. Now, you may be saying that's not an issue. Well, it is for me because the scripts were most likely written by non-Black people, which you could tell based on the verbiage and how things were written. Or Black people wanted to make sure that you knew the product was blackity black, black, black. And for me, it was just too much. The scripts written by non-Black people would say things like, as an impoverished Black woman as myself, or just perpetuate the struggle, while the other scripts that focused on race were saying things like, we want to welcome all Black people to our organization, or or say things like, hey, my name is Sally and I'm from Nigeria, but then speak about cryptocurrency or something else that seemed very scammy. For those of you who are like, but your mission statement says blackly black black black, so why is this a problem? First of all, y'all need to shut up, because it's not the same thing. All I'm saying is the scripts that I decide to turn down are the ones that make me feel uncomfortable, because it seems like I am pandering or I am blackening something up unnecessarily. So most of the time race isn't needed in any of the scripts, because you can tell I'm black and it just seems so forced. So I typically turn those projects down because the requests have increased drastically. You may be thinking, okay, but cancel orders affects your rate. So what I did to combat that, because it started becoming a lot, I put it in my description that I'm not doing race-based content anymore. But for people who do go ahead and order it, I ask them to revise the script. I'll even offer to revise the script myself. Or if they are just like, no, I want it done exactly like this, which honestly that almost never happens, I will cancel the order. So like I said, I typically turn down those race-based scripts because the requests have increased so much and it just became overwhelming, and I don't want to talk about being black all the time. But at the same time, I'm also honored that more clients are reaching out to me as a black creator, because we now have, you know, a platform for exposure, which is also great. But I'm learning to navigate this newfound success that I have on the Fiverr platform. So before I get out of here, I'm going to give you guys some top tips for success. So get your notepads ready, because I got the goal for you. Treat Fiverr like a business and be confident in your uniqueness. Now you could take that as 2 tips, but I believe that they go hand in hand. So when I say treat Fiverr like a business, I mean work on your communication skills, think about customer service, and think about the overhead costs. That's something that I definitely didn't think about when I first started on Fiverr. Think about running this thing on a daily basis, because once I began to view Fiverr as a business, I started to make more money, plain and simple. And the uniqueness comes into play because no one is going to run your business like you are. What makes you stand out? Fiverr is a super saturated marketplace, but believe me when I say all gigs are not created equal. How can you create a great gig with an eye-catching portfolio that will drive sales? Think about that. The biggest piece of advice I can offer in this entire video is set yourself apart, y'all, because no one is youer than you. And that's on Dr. Seuss, okay? Period. Now, with that being said, drop any questions you have about the Fiverr platform or the experience of being a full-time freelancer down below. I have been very good lately at responding to my comments, and let me just pat myself on the back for that. But respond right now or put a comment down and I will try to get to it as soon as I can. And if you want to know more about Fiverr, let me know what else I should touch on in my next Fiverr video. And to make sure you do not miss out on that upload, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that big red subscribe button down below and make sure your notifications are on so you can get all of the alerts anytime your girl posts any new Fiverr videos. Y'all, thank y'all so much for watching and just listening and enjoying the ride, for learning about my Fiverr experience, and I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye!